need you. Drop whatever you're doing and bring me a cup of coffee with milk, no sugar.
The office buzzed with tension that morning. Mrs. Stewart, sharp suit pressed to perfection, paced with her phone glued to her ear. Hang that up for me. Now. Her tone cut through the room like a blade. Across the desk, the young black woman she was speaking to hesitated. Sorry, Richard, I was just talking to the bank's receptionist. Actually, Mrs. Stewart. Excuse me? Mrs. Stewart snapped, glaring. Who taught you your manners? This is an important call. The receptionist froze. Didn't I ask you to hang that up? You did, but like I was saying, no buts. Today's not the day for excuses or laziness. Now, just do what I asked. Go. Mrs. Stewart waved dismissively, adding with a smirk, and fetch me a coffee while you're at it. Milk and 2 sugars. The girl blinked, unsure if she heard right. You want me to bring you coffee? Yes, Mrs. Stewart replied, brows arched. That's what you people do, isn't it? For a moment, the air went heavy, like even the walls could feel the sting of her words. A few minutes later, the assistant returned. Very well, then. Please wait in the conference room. Mrs. Stewart rolled her eyes, resuming her call. Sorry again, Richard. I just got to the merger closing. Yeah, that's right. I'm waiting for the CEO and the bank manager to sign this deal, a deal that's going to save my company and make me rich in the process. She laughed, smug. Not bad for a Tuesday. The assistant carefully handed her the coffee. Here you go, Mrs. Stewart. You know, Stewart said, glancing up, it's kind of funny. I think you may have been confused earlier. I don't usually do this sort of thing. The thing about that is, the assistant began softly, no one cares, Stewart cut in. Least of all, me. What would you do if someone treated you like that? Keep quiet or speak up? Mrs. Stewart took a sip of her coffee, then froze mid-sip. Slout. Her expression curdled like spoiled milk. Ugh, I said oat milk. Are you deaf? Are you actually trying to kill me? The young assistant blinked in disbelief. You said milk and 2 sugars. Mrs. Stewart scoffed loudly. Rule number 1 of being a good assistant. Never talk back to your superior. Now make it again, and make it right this time. Her tone dripped with entitlement. Today is tremendously important for me and my company. I should be prepping for my meeting, not babysitting some nitwit receptionist. I'm not a receptionist, the woman muttered under her breath. Fine, Stewart replied with mock patience. An assistant, or whatever the PC police call you people these days. The point is, you're here to make my job easier, not harder. But what I'm trying to explain is, that's not actually my job, the assistant said, cautiously. Stewart's eyes narrowed. What did I tell you about talking back? You work for the bank, yes, but right now I'm the bank's biggest customer, which means you work for me. The assistant hesitated. If you'd just... Shut up, Stewart snapped, cutting her off. If you'd just sit down for a minute, maybe you'd learn something from your better. My better? The young woman tilted her head. You're not my better. Oh, yes, Stewart said, smirking proudly. In fact, I am. I graduated from Brown, got my MBA from UCLA, started a Fortune 500 company from scratch. That wasn't luck. It was talent and hard work. She looked the assistant up and down with open disdain. By the look of you, I doubt you even went to college, probably didn't even graduate. You've never taken a risk, never built anything, never poured your heart into something real, which is why you're here, working a job a trained beagle could do. So yes, I am, by every definition, better than you. Have you ever been insulted so calmly that it burned more than shouting? The assistant met her gaze quietly. You know, you really shouldn't rush to judgment about people. It has a way of coming back to bite you. Mrs. Stewart chuckled smugly, lifting her phone again. In about 20 minutes, she told the assistant without even looking up, I'll be signing a deal worth tens of millions. And when that happens, I won't have to care what someone like you thinks of me. She pressed the phone to her ear. Yes, Meg, I'm still waiting for the CEO and the bank manager to arrive. Can you believe it? I've been stuck here all morning with this idiotic receptionist. Oh, sorry, assistant. Her tone dripped with sarcasm. She's done nothing but slow me down. The assistant stayed quiet, though her eyes spoke volumes. Mrs. Stewart waved her hand dismissively. Go make yourself useful and tell your boss I'm still waiting, instead of standing there like a mouth-breathing statue. The assistant nodded calmly and stepped out just as the doors opened. Ah, there she is, came a voice. Mrs. Stewart turned, instantly transforming her tone. Oh, no trouble at all. I'm just excited to make this merger official. The man smiled. As are we. I was hoping to speak with Mrs. Johnson before we began, but she hasn't arrived yet. Stewart tilted her head. Strange, the assistant said she got here before you. The man frowned slightly. Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but now that you mention it, your assistant isn't exactly great at her job. Mrs. Stewart's mouth curled in satisfaction. You noticed that too? She was rude, argumentative, completely unprofessional. If I were you, I'd fire her and find someone competent. Just then, the conference door opened again. Ah, the man said, smiling warmly. There she is now, Mrs. Johnson. Mrs. Stewart's face froze. Carrie Johnson? The assistant she'd mocked all morning stepped forward, calm, confident, poised. Likewise, Carrie said coolly. Good to finally meet you, Mrs. Stewart. The room fell silent. Mrs. Stewart blinked in disbelief, the phone nearly slipping from her hand. Mrs. Stewart's face froze. Mrs. Johnson? She stammered. Why didn't you say anything? Carrie's voice was calm but firm. I actually tried to. Mrs. Stewart frowned. No, you didn't. I would have remembered. Carrie met her eyes. I did. But you were too busy making assumptions about my age, my role, my skin color, to listen. Mrs. Stewart's lips parted defensively. That's not true. If I'd known, I would never have said any of those things. Carrie's tone softened, but her words landed like quiet thunder. That makes it even worse. You looked at me and decided you already knew everything I was, and everything I wasn't. Mrs. Stewart's voice cracked. No, that's not true. Oh, but it is, Carrie said gently, stepping closer. You even said it yourself. She took a slow breath, steady, composed. But here's what you didn't know, the truth about who I am. Ever seen arrogance start to crumble in real time? Carrie continued, her voice carrying quiet strength. Not only did I go to college, I graduated top of my class at Yale, then earned my MBA from Harvard, all while starting my own company with less than $100 to my name. The room shifted. Even the air seemed to pause. That was 10 years before you started your little company, by the way, Carrie added smoothly. And since then, mine has outperformed yours tenfold. Higher sales, better market cap, triple the growth. She tilted her head slightly. I wonder why that is. Maybe because I know how to run a company better than you ever could. Carrie looked around the room, and for the record, everyone here knows you didn't start your company from scratch like you claimed. Mrs. Stewart's face flushed red. I did too. Carrie's expression remained calm. No, you started it with a little help from a $3 million inheritance from your grandfather. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that speak when silence can't. Carrie's voice didn't waver. It didn't need to. Her words cut deeper because they were steady. You didn't build your company from nothing, she said evenly. You inherited it, $3 million from your grandfather. And then you mismanaged that company right into near bankruptcy. The conference room went still. The only sound was Mrs. Stewart's shaky breath. That's why you're here today, Carrie continued softly, begging someone who looks like me to save you. Mrs. Stewart swallowed hard. That's not true, Carrie smiled faintly. Oh, but it is. And that, Mrs. Stewart, is the truth about who I am. For a long, heavy moment, no one spoke. The silence wasn't empty, it was charged. You could almost hear the weight of realization settling on everyone's shoulders. Carrie stood tall, composed, the embodiment of grace under fire. Across from her, Mrs. Stewart looked smaller than ever, her arrogance stripped away, replaced by a trembling uncertainty. Finally, Mr. Green, the oldest board member, cleared his throat. Well, he said slowly, I think we've all seen enough. Mrs. Stewart turned toward him, desperate. Please, Mr. Green, you can't seriously... But he raised a hand. Enough. His tone was sharp, but not unkind. This meeting was to decide whether Stewart Industries deserves a second chance, and I believe we've found our answer, just not the one we expected. He turned toward Carrie. Mrs. Johnson, you've demonstrated integrity, intelligence, and humility, qualities this board values far more than money or privilege. If you're still willing to merge with us, I'd like to officially welcome you as our new partner. Gasps filled the room. A few people even clapped quietly, unsure if they were allowed to, but compelled nonetheless. Carrie smiled faintly. Thank you, Mr. Green. I accept. But I'll only move forward on one condition, that this company undergoes a complete ethics and leadership review. No more blind assumptions, no more hidden biases. We rebuild from the inside out. The board members exchanged looks, nodding slowly. Mrs. Stewart's face crumpled. You can't do this. That's my company, she cried. Carrie turned toward her, calm but firm. No, Mrs. Stewart. It was your company, but when arrogance drives leadership, companies fall and people suffer. Today isn't about me taking what's yours. It's about saving what's left. The words echoed like a quiet gavel strike. Her assistant, the real one, hurried over with her coat. Ma'am, are you okay? Carrie smiled faintly. Better than okay. For a moment, she looked up at the building, that shimmering symbol of status, ego, and power. Mrs. Stewart stepped out, her expression unreadable. Pride gone, replaced by something else. Regret, maybe. Reflection, definitely. She watched Carrie get into her car and drive away, a gust of wind tugging at her coat. For the first time, she didn't feel angry, just humbled. Maybe she'd remember this day too. From the other side of silence, toss stories where real voices rise and truth finds its echo. Like, subscribe and share this story, because some lessons don't come with applause, they come with silence, the kind that makes you rethink who you are.